Now, I do want to address some feedback that I have gotten from the 10 Commandments of the Rookie Card version 2. It has been astounding, astounding the amount of feedback that I have been getting. Most of it good, most of it good. Uh, but I do want to address a couple of things. And I know at times, I might come off a little rough around the edges, but and I might do so here in the next few minutes, but I do that. Listen, it's not that I'm rough around the edges. It's I do that because I I'm trying to grab your attention, and I know that you got to know your audience when you're doing any type of speaking, right? And I know that the majority of my audience is men, and so man to man, sometimes I got to speak, right? I got to speak to a man, but I do know that when it comes to social media, it's all about reputation. You have to be a steward of your reputation. You have to be the protector of your reputation, uh, because there's there's people that agree with you, and there's people that disagree with you. There's people that have troll-like tendencies, and they want to um, basically twist your words, right, to create their own narrative. And that's the kind of stuff that really I have a really short fuse on, and I will call it out, and I will confront or respond uh, quickly, because I don't mind you questioning. As a matter of fact, I want that. But if you're going to twist my narrative in order to create your own narrative, then I'm going to have issues with it. So, and it's nothing. Nothing has happened out of that. That's negative, right? It's all interpretation of things, right? And one interpretation is I've heard somebody say Victor's rookie card rules. Well, and I understand the concept or the context that they were speaking it in, and it was more in a supportive nature. But uh, these are not Victor's rookie card rules. Okay, I am one that's kind of like brought it to everybody's attention. I've basically, uh, you know, reestablished some things that had been forgotten about in the past, uh, things that the hobby has gotten away from that I find concerning. But these are not Victor's. Victor doesn't have the authority to create these rules. I am basically communicating, right, the rules that have already been established. But I'm just bringing structure and order into them, and I'm trying to convince us that these should still be important to us. And so they're not my rules; they are our rules. They're the hobby's rules, but at the same time, they're the PA's rules too. And so they have to understand the complexity. That's how come with version 2, I have tried to bring both worlds together. I have intertwined them and created this so that we have uh, uh, an understanding of what's going on. And my long-term goal is to convince the PA, to convince card manufacturers to adopt what the hobby has established, because up until now they don't really follow or care to follow what we the hobby have established as rookie card guidelines. And that to me is the big disconnect, right? They basically do what they want whenever they want, and that's basically the end of it. But it violates some of the things that the hobby has established. In some way, somehow, those two worlds need to reconnect. And that's what this is really about. But bottom line, legally, these are the PA's rules with a secondary of hobby rules. And I do want to apologize if I come across, rough. It's a lot of that is knowing my audience, knowing what I got to do to get through to my audience. And a lot of that is not so much that I'm being mean. It's a lot of that is I'm passionate. And as a communicator, that comes out at times rough. But underneath that, I would say I would consider myself more of an educator. I would consider myself more of an advocate for rookie card reform. And there is at times where, to be honest with you, I feel like um, a voice in the wilderness, just basically talking to the trees. And so those are the types of things that sometimes when frustrations build up, sometimes it comes out, and I'm aggressive, but I'm good. At least I try to be a good-hearted person. So a lot of that is I love more than preaching from the mountaintops. I enjoy laughing. I enjoy conversating and um, giving man hugs and that type of thing. That's the kind of stuff I like, but don't really mean to ruffle anybody's feathers, but um, you know, I will challenge our way of thinking when it comes to the rookie card. Also, some have accused me of, slapping our rookie card forefathers in the face. And by that, I'm assuming that is, Rich Klein and Dr. James Beckett. And that, my friends, is, you know, that's the furthest thing from the truth. And first of all, I have gone out of my way, and I have communicated this over and over again, that if we're comparing today's rookie card guidelines and looking back, what we see is that they got it wrong, that Beckett Publications got it wrong in the 80s and 90s, that they shouldn't have done this or that. And I have been the first to correct everybody and say, hey, no, 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 no. You cannot take today's rules and look back, because that's not how this works. Rookie card history has evolved. There was decisions that had to be made back then, and they did that, and they brought the hobby forward. Now, to look back and say, hey, they got it wrong, that's disrespectful. That's slapping our forefathers in the face. And I have been the biggest advocate for their work to this day. And to say that my work is slapping them in the face is, to me, that's unfair. And that almost gets me to the point of anger, because I have been their biggest advocate. I have been their biggest fan, and I will not, and I don't want to rewrite history. I have said that over and over and over again. We cannot rewrite history on this thing. We can understand it better. We can study it and look at how it's evolved. But rewriting it, to me, is not the move to make. And another point that I want to make is Dr. James Beckett. I have been on his show many a times. I even brought him in on mine. And I don't know this. I don't know that he still is, but Dr. Beckett has been one of my biggest supporters in the work that I do on the rookie card. So, to accuse me that I'm slapping them in the face is, to me, is not right. Now, there's some things that the hobby has evolved in, like parallel rookie cards. Okay. Yes, here's where it was, but here's where it is today. Now, and all I'm doing is recording that evolution of the hobby. And Dr. Beckett has always been the biggest advocate of, the hobby decides. Well, friends, the hobby has decided that parallel rookie cards are rookie cards. They're considered true rookie cards because it's the parallel of the base set of that card. And that is the one thing, and I would say probably the biggest thing or only thing, that the rookie card has evolved from, say, 2005 to today. And that has been the evolution of the parallel rookie card. I have been the strongest. I have been against the parallel rookie card for so long. But even in 2022, last year, I changed my stance. I cannot sit here and say parallels are not rookie cards. I gotten a big backlash in this one area. And it took me purchasing a new car to really come to the realization, to see the light. Right? My eyes were opened. Instead of being the old man screaming out the window to get off my lawn, and that concept really didn't get us anywhere. And so that is the one change that I feel. And Dr. Beckett and Rich Klein, they may be the first ones to say, I don't know. I'm going to be sure to ask them. But what are their thoughts on the evolution of the parallel rookie card? I'm sure they will have some tremendous insight. I do understand that some folks may have an issue with change, that they will have issues with the rookie card evolving. But friends, you either get on board or you get out of the way, because what happens is you start slowing things down, and this is part of the reason for the muddied waters. Is some people have drawn some lines decades ago, and they don't want to move from that line, and that's fine. And you're right. You have the right to make your stance and stand on your mountain, but don't stop somebody else from creating their own stance or their own mountain. And that's kind of the thing that we got to understand, that things change. Everything changes eventually. I know some of you younger cats, you may struggle hearing the word no. Maybe you haven't been told no very much in your life. And it's hard to hear. I understand that. But I feel like sometimes it just feels like some people just have issues with authority altogether. And whenever anything that comes across with some type of like authoritative correction, there's like an immediate resistance that comes about. And so if we present a something that is not painted with unicorns and rainbows, if it doesn't fall into your philosophy, well, you disagree and you shoot it down. But the real world doesn't work that way. Go to your job and tell your boss that you don't agree with his decision. Let me know how that works out for you. And you know what? I'm just one. I'm cut from the old thread. Okay, I'm a Gen Xer, and I didn't get to argue with my parents. My parents, whatever they said goes, because they're my parents. I didn't like it, but I had to obey it. Let me go to my job and tell my boss, "Hey, boss, that I don't agree with how you're running things. I don't agree with the work scope that you gave me, and I'm not going to do it." You know what it's called at my work? That's called insubordination. You're immediately pulled from service pending further investigation. Or how about you go to a courtroom and the court passes judgment and you say, "Yeah, you know what? I don't agree with you. I don't like it." Let me know how that works out for you. You see, some think that rules bind us, but they actually don't when done correctly. When done correctly, rules give us boundaries and give us freedom within those boundaries. Now, we want to be all the way out here left field and do what we want to do. Don't you tell me what to collect. Don't you tell me how to collect. Don't you tell me what's a rookie card and not a rookie card. A rookie card's going to be whatever I want it to be. Yeah, that's cool in your world. But in the real world, the overall consensus says different. And that's something some of us got to wrap our heads around. Listen, man, a rookie card should be whatever I want it to be. A rookie card, everything's a rookie card. They're all rookie cards. You know what? That's exactly what the card manufacturers want you to say. That's exactly what the industry wants you to say. That's exactly what they want you to believe. Why? Because they want to sell product. But those of us who are in the know that not all rookie cards are created equal.